Warren Buffett once said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Work until you die? Well, we're definitely not doing that. And that is why I've created Life of Dividends. And this is our dividend portfolio update for trading week ending March 21st, 2025. Let's go. Okay, so as you can see here, the difference in the portfolio overall balance from last trading week ending on March 14th, 2025, as we had a balance of $8,398.18 to this previous week, or this past week's trading week ending March 21st, 2025, where we have currently a balance of $9,295.22. Now, this is all in part due to three things. One, the market conditions. Two, us DCAing into our positions. And three, adding additional discretionary income into the investments as well. So we are increasing the balance in our portfolio on a daily and weekly basis. Now, there has been a change to the portfolio and the funds that we hold week over week. As you see here, as for a refresher, trading week ending March 14th, 2025, we were in two positions, the first being Coney with 1,000 shares and the second being Tesla with 30 shares. And we transitioned through from week to week to now the end of trading week, March 21st, 2025. And as you see here, we currently are holding 1,000 shares of Coney, 30 shares of Alti, and 60 shares of Tesla. So we have taken the opportunity to go ahead and open up our weekly paying dividend ETF for Alti to go along with Coney and Tesla, and we are also DCAing into Alti on a daily basis. We are actually buying 1 share a day of Alti and 2 shares a day, just a little bit over 2 shares a day of Tesla. We are not touching Coney because our goal was to get to 1,000 shares of each of Coney, Tesla, Nvidia, and Misty. So that is the track that we are on. So we are presently going to build out Tesla to 1,000 shares, and then we will move on to Nvidia, and we will continue to DCA into Alti on a daily basis to include the DCAing and discretionary funds that we can add to our investments accordingly. So we are, again, following our game plan of building out this portfolio, to take advantage of the fruits of our labor. One thing I'm going to talk to everyone about in the future is, or maybe you can, put this down. Tell us all what kind of resume does your money have? And it's very important that if you are saving money and investing money, that your money is working for you. And in working for you, it should have a resume. Resume meaning, who is your money working for? And as you can see right now, my money's working in Coney, Alti, and Tesla. That is my current resume that my money is working. So yeah, gotta have a resume. So to add just a little bit more on the current positions that we hold within the portfolio, as you see here with the Coney position, again, we have 1,000 shares, or just a little bit over 1,000 shares and some fractional shares there. And we are holding that at an average cost of $7.95. Now, if you look at the top there, you can see what the closing price for Coney was, which is $8.56. So you see our market value, and of course you can see our total return is in the Coney position, we are up $606.09. So approximately 7.62% increase there in Coney. Let's move to Tesla on the end there. Tesla, we have 60 shares and fractional shares, as you see there as well, at an average cost of $8.16 with a market value of $486.60. Of course, Tesla being up and down with what's going on news-wise and market-wise. We have a total return is actually negative $5.15 loss is where we were at with our total return. Moving to Alti, we have 30 shares and fractional shares there as well, with an average cost of $6.57. And of course, you see there, market close was $6.64. So we have a total return being up $2.10 and a market value of $200.54. Now, looking at the bottom of the page there, you see our buying power for each of Coney, Alti, and Tesla being the same, $17,310.54. Now, we're going to get into that in just a minute. And here we are, buying power. Our buying power week over week has increased now to $22,048. As you see there, the total margin that we have for Life of Dividends portfolio is $22,000 even. Our individual cash is $48 of unused money that I have deposited in order to buy more shares of Alti and Tesla. I'll be doing that first thing Monday, along with the DCAing that's automatically set up as well. So I still like to put my money aside to DCA in while the market is closed on both Saturdays and Sundays. So Monday we actually, buying double the amount. So we're buying for Saturday and Sunday. So just gives us 2 more days while the market is closed to increase our dividend purchases. But as you see, yet again, we have not used any of the buying power or the margin. But I'm going to show you in the difference coming up here, the difference in not using margin and getting paid dividends. And you guys can kind of see the difference of, what it is to use other people's money to invest and get your dividends, because your dividends, we'll talk about it here in just a minute. Let's go. All right, so speaking of dividends, these are the dividend payouts for this past week, ending March 21st, 2025. We were paid out on Alti for 25.001 shares at a payout amount of 0.0977 cents a share, for a total dividend payout for Alti being $2.44. Now, on Alti, we also had a payout, but on the number of shares, as you see there, 50.7175. The amount per share of the dividend was 0.4638 for a total dividend payout of $23.52. Now, that's quite the difference versus 2 weeks ago when we were using margin and we were getting I think just over $1,000 that we were in. I believe it was Nvidia. So this is what your dividends look like this is what my dividends look like with just using my own money and not using margin and growing our portfolio over a daily and weekly basis. However, if we were to use margin, then that means going back to margin warnings and margin calls. But perhaps what would happen if we calculated, say, maybe using, I think in one of my goals was maybe just using that $1,000 of margin that Robinhood gives us free or interest free. But better yet, maybe using just 25% of the margin. I'll be doing those calculations, and as we move into the next trading week, this upcoming week, and I believe it is NVIDIA that pays dividends this coming week, but in also preparing for the following week, which is, I believe, the first week of April, getting ready and prepared for Coney, which I have just over 1,000 shares of, seeing how if we were to use $1,000 of the margin versus using 25% of the margin, to see just how that would impact our dividend payout, and still give us a buffer that would not create margin warnings or margin calls. And we'll be making that business decision for life of dividends accordingly, as you know, after we do those calculations. So stand by and we'll see what our results are like next week and the following week for Coney. And here we have our total payout for March 2025. Our dividend payouts totaling $25.96 for both the Ulti dividend payment of $2.44 and the Tesla dividend payment of $23.52. So far our total March 2025 total dividend payout, $25.96. So big difference from being able to use the margin. But stay tuned. More to come with Life of Dividends. I thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the channel. And let's get ready, get rested up for next week and all of the fun to come as we put and watch our money go to work.